Okay, so I've recently become very aware of how important financial freedom is, and I'm working towards that end. I really feel a burning need to be my own boss and, in a sense, master my own finances, thus master my own destiny. For me, I'd be happy if I could bank $1 million by the time I'm 40. Whether I somehow make it in one big chunk or gradually over a period of time, that'll be fine for me. I'm not a materialistic person, and I really don't desire many things. Cars, watches, big houses, or any shit like that. I want money purely so I can help my family out if needs be free to go where I want, when I want, and pretty much do as I please. But I've been seeing more and more on YouTube and various other corners of the internet, people pushing this narrative of needing to accumulate vast amounts of personal wealth to the ultimate goal of escaping the matrix. When these people are pushed to define what escaping the matrix actually means, they struggle, and nearly all of them admit that they haven't in actuality escaped. They have just shifted to a different level where they play by different rules but are still abiding by parameters set by the matrix nonetheless. Since I was very young, I've always been perplexed by the desire for individuals to stockpile obscene amounts of wealth. People with net worths of tens or hundreds of millions or even billions was absolutely flabbergasting to me. There were a few things that just seemed nonsensical to my younger, more naive self. Firstly, who needs 5, 10, 15 houses? Who needs a gargantuan garage full of 100 supercars? You can only drive one at a time. Secondly, none of these things or that money can be taken with, and you've accumulated more than can be spent in multiple lifetimes. As I've gotten older, I reckon I've got a better idea as to what drives this insatiable hunger for moolah that we see in some individuals. First of all, I guess part of it is just an addiction, like getting rich, making money, multiplying that money, spending it, etc., round and round. I guess it feels good and is something which hooks people, although some people get more hooked to the spending than the making, but that's for another video. Secondly, and I think most importantly, is the power aspect. He who controls most of the cash controls most of the people, most of the decisions, most of the world. They're probably out here making most of the laws. So I think these are the two main drivers for this type of behavior: addiction and power.
A power addiction is a powerful addiction.
Though this obsession with material possessions and power has never interested me personally, don't get me twisted. I enjoy money and I'm trying to get my fair share of it. Like I said, $1 million will do me just fine. I just think that this idea that's being pushed by certain individuals recently is a little bit dangerous and disingenuous. Not every, or not even most people will or even could have this type of wealth. It's not technically possible within the economic framework for every person to be rich on that scale. So it's setting people up for disappointment and failure for one thing, and secondly, people start blindly chasing money without any thought as to what the end goal actually is, or that it's important how you make your money so you can survey your success at the end of it all with your soul still intact. Also, there's this subtext coming from these people that getting mega rich right fucking now is going to solve all of your problems. And it might cure some of them, but this really got me thinking as to how many of my own problems would being rich solve. So I imagined that I reached my monetary goal and that tomorrow the $1 million that I want is going to be in my bank account. So what now? Well, I guess the first thing I do is quit my job. I don't need to trade my time for money anymore, even if I do enjoy teaching, and it just ties me to one place, which is one of the biggest changes I want to make in my life. So I guess now it's time to start planning my world tour. Well, what about my girlfriend? Obviously, she can quit her job as well, but is she going to be able to just up and leave everything to come with me? Her parents aren't well at the moment, and she spends a lot of time looking after them. So just stick them in a nursing home, forget about them, go enjoy yourselves. Well, maybe, but again, that doesn't solve the problem. That simply moves it out of sight and maybe out of mind until something bad happens and we're forced to deal with it, probably with feelings of pain and regret and guilt. So this particular feature of our lives wouldn't be solved by money, and actually more questions and more dilemmas would be thrown up and may put tension on our relationship. Secondly are my ambitions. Right now, my goal is to make my money through YouTube primarily, and then some other way of monetizing my experience and knowledge to my audience, a course or a book or something of the sort. Would I keep plodding along with that? I mean, theoretically, the injection of a boatload of cash will make it easier. I can hire editors, videographers, YouTube growth specialists, everything I need. But would the success of building a channel feel as sweet afterwards? Would it feel tainted and hollow, knowing that I didn't do it entirely off my own back? Or would it not make a difference, and I would just know that I used my riches as a tool to help me get where I wanted to be? Would I even have the motivation to do any of this? And what about my body? Right now, I'm well into the gym and trying to improve my physique and nutrition and general health. Well, the money would undoubtedly help with this. I would have more time to dedicate towards my goals and the resources to hire the best personal trainers and nutritionists to aid me in achieving them. What point am I trying to make with all this? Well, the main thing I want to say is that it's important to be clear why you want to be rich and how much is going to make you happy, or you will find that no amount of money will satisfy you because you never had a clear aim or goal in mind. Secondly, I think it's important how you make your fortune, and nowadays it seems to me that people have less and less scruples when it comes to ripping people off, selling dreams, selling their bodies, or scamming their fans. I believe that if you can get wealthy through doing something that you love, then that's real success. And if what you can do can bring a benefit or positive impact to the world around you at large, then all the better, and that should be the aim at all times. Not every person, or actually in my opinion, not any one person needs the wealth of Jeff Bezos or Andrew Tate or Elon Musk. It has always seemed obscene, grotesque and unnecessary to me. By all means, work towards securing the bag, getting enough so that you and your family are secure, you have freedom and security and are doing something fulfilling and meaningful. But I think we need to be open and honest about how much that actually is. And of course, it will change from person to person, but for me, I really don't think it's all that much. I know this was a bit of a rambling mess, but I hope I got my message across despite all the meandering nonsense. Be safe out there guys, see you soon.